The cook, the diners and one giant mystery. The case has captivated the nation. The death of 3 people and another fighting for life, all after a mushroom meal. And it's raised more questions than answers.
Curramborough near Leongatha, where the Victorian coast meets the country. A quiet, religious town most of us have never heard of. Now the epicentre of one of Australia's most baffling police probes.
I just can't believe it. Just can't believe it.
An Australian family's meal is now the centre of a homicide.
Police are refusing to rule out foul play after a deadly meal claimed 3 lives.
A family lunch turned deadly in Australia after 3 people died from eating mushrooms.
Almost a fortnight ago, local basketball coach Simon Patterson has no idea life as he knows it is about to change. Within days, his parents and aunt would be dead. His uncle, the local pastor, clinging to life. And his ex-partner, Erin Patterson, a suspect in their deaths. Saturday, July 29. Police say Erin prepares lunch, believed to be a beef Wellington pie, at her Leongatha home. Simon's supposed to be there too, but pulls out. Erin's children don't eat the same meal, and while we don't know what Erin ate, she's the only one not to get sick. That night, the 4 other adults fall violently ill. Sisters Heather and Gail die the following Friday. Saturday, Gail's husband Don passes away. Pastor Ian is the sole survivor, though he's not in a good way. With 3 deaths allegedly from the one lethal lunch, the homicide squad takes notice, raiding Erin's home. They also seize a food dehydrator from a local tip. On Monday, Detective Inspector Dean Thomas confirms Erin Patterson's a suspect.
And she is because she cooked those meals for those people that were present.
Hours later, she stopped and spoke with a current affair.
Erin, can you tell us what happened on Saturday?
What happened on Saturday was devastating. It's a tragedy what's happened.
Can you tell us about the meal that you cooked?
I'm so devastated by what's happened, by the loss of Don. Don is still in hospital, the loss of Ian and Heather and Gail, who were some of the best people that I've ever met.
Erin repeatedly gets the names of her relatives wrong. Ex-father-in-law Don is dead and Pastor Ian, the one who's in hospital.
Police say you're a suspect. Do you have anything to say about that?
I say I didn't do anything. I loved them.
In this interview, which police have been watching very closely, Erin refuses to answer any of my questions about what happened.
Where did the mushrooms come from? Were they picked by you, or where did they come from, Erin? Can you tell us?
With the heat turning up, yesterday Erin left home to visit lawyers in Melbourne. Police claim in the lethal lunch were death-cap mushrooms. A single one can kill.
That woman has not presented with any symptoms. That forms part of our investigation, whether she did or didn't eat any of the mushrooms.
So what else do we know about the 48-year-old mum now under police investigation? Well, Erin and Simon Patterson have been split up for some time, though they're believed to be amicable. A year ago, Simon was the one in hospital, almost dying from a mystery gut illness. And while there's no evidence to suggest that illness was due to poisoning, it's something police are no doubt closely looking at.
It'll be a matter of history to see whether this particular person who prepared the meal has done it before, and other people around her that will support her story in relation to how she did it, why she did it, has she done it in the past.
Former Detective Charlie Bazina spent 17 years in the Victorian Homicide Squad. He says detectives may ultimately ask the Director of Public Prosecutions if they should lay any charges.
Did she collect the mushrooms? Were they collected by somebody else? Were they purchased from somewhere else? These are all of the things you've got to look at as to how the whole incident occurred, because these are 3 unnatural deaths that shouldn't have happened.
For a story with so many twists and turns, there are still few answers. Even for seasoned detectives, it's a complex case. A tragic accident or a deliberate act of evil. Police claim there's only one person who knows the answer.
And while that investigation continues, our heart goes out to the family and the whole community.